In this video, we're jumping into color correction and color grading and how you can do some basic color correction onto your footage inside of Adobe Premiere Pro. So let's get into it. There's multiple different ways that we can access Lumetri Color. This is the panel that we're going to use to color grade. The first one is to go into Window and change the workspace to a color space. And this, by default, should bring up the Lumetri Color tab. We've got the Lumetri scopes here. If this is all feeling really intimidating for you, let's just go back to where we were, go back to all panels, and instead let's just search effects. So we'll go into effects, Lumetri Color, which should be under color correction, drag this onto our footage. So this is very similar to what we've done with the effects work previously. So we've gone into effects, search for Lumetri Color, dragged it on, and we've gone into effect controls to adjust this. Now inside of Lumetri Color, we've got all of these different tabs. Basic correction is going to be exactly what it sounds like. So we've got our temperature, which is the warmth or the coolness of the shots. We've got our tint, which is a camera correction thing. So cameras lean either towards the greens or the purples. So we can correct that by going into tint. Saturation is exactly what it sounds like. It's just the richness of the colors. So we can go from black and white to really colorful. Exposure is our brightness. Contrast is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to pump some contrast in. Highlights, shadows, whites, blacks. So what am I looking for from this clip? I want to make this a little bit warmer with a bit more richness to it. So I'm going to increase the temperature. So let's go for 10, maybe 15. We don't want to go over the top with this. Tint, it's a little green, so I'm just going to lean it a little bit more towards the purples. I'm going to increase the saturation because we're looking for that richness. Exposure is probably about right, I'd say. Definitely need some more contrast though, so let's push that. Highlights, we've got a little bit of a blowout up here, so I'm just going to pull that down a little bit. Shadows, I'll pull up a touch. Whites can come down a touch. And already, if we just turn this on and off, so Lumetri off, you can see already we have done loads to grade this footage. Of course, at the top here, you've got input LUT, so you can input a LUT if you wanted to have that nice starting point, but you don't have to. Now, next tab, we've got creative. So this is where we can start being a bit more creative with our grading. So this bit, I would say, is correction, and this bit is now grading. So in creative, we can go into look, and you can use one of these presets if you wanted to. So as you can see, if we just scrub through these, you've got loads of different looks. Everything from day for night, blue ice, blue moon, all the way down to gold orange, which is not actually far off the sort of thing that I was going for. So maybe I'm going to go for gold tobacco, this says in this example. I'm going to decrease the intensity because it's a bit much at the moment. Although to be fair, it looks quite nice when you pull it up. Looks pretty good. I think maybe the contrast is a bit much, but I can adjust that by going back into basic and pulling the contrast down. So again, for comparison, this was our starting point and this is where we're up to now. So you can see that's doing a lot already. Then down here, you've got faded film, which is just going to just add this fade effect. I personally never use this. I'm not a fan. You've got a sharpening, which is exactly what it says. Sounds like if I just zoom in and I increase and decrease this, you can see that happening there. So this is by default 0, pull it up to 100. It just sharpens the edges, which can do a little bit, but I personally don't use it. Vibrance is a different variation of saturation. There's saturation again. Now we've got some wheels. Now this is the bit where you might start to get a little bit intimidated. This is a color wheel. Essentially, we're separating our color into 3 different. So we've got shadows, midtones, and highlights. Shadows are the dark bits. So it's all of this stuff down here. The highlights are the bright bits. So all of this bit up here. And then the midtones is anything in between. So maybe some of these trees would class as midtones. But in this example, we can only see shadows and highlights. Now, I wouldn't typically grade on these wheels. I would wait until we got down to the color wheels. But you can see if I pull the shadowed tint towards the blues, the shadows have gone blue. And if I pull the highlights towards the yellows, the highlights have gone yellows. It really is that simple, but we'll come back to this later on. Curves. I do actually quite like grading in curves. I feel like you get a lot of precise control here. So basically you've got these dots up here. So this is your RGB. This is just a combined variation of everything. So if you wanted to crush the shadows and increase the highlights, you would do so by going up to here. So you can add points. This is your midtones here. So let's increase those midtones, but let's pull those highlights back a little bit. And then you can do the same on for each individual channel. So you can go for red. So let's increase the red midtones. Greens, we'll increase that a little because we want that to feel nice and rich. And then the blues, we can maybe pull this out because blue's a colder color. We want this to feel nice and rich. Let's pull the blue out of the shadows and the highlights. Well, let's take it out of the shadows and put it in the highlights. So there you go. We've got that nice contrast there. Then, of course, we've got more options down here. Hue versus sat, hue versus hue, luma, luma versus sat. Ignore these. Don't worry about it for now. Color wheels and match. So this is what I was talking about. Shadows, midtones, and highlights. So I don't think we need to do a lot here. I think I've pretty much got the result that I was looking for. Again, this is where we started. This is what we've ended up with just by pulling some settings in. I'm pretty happy with this. But if you wanted to do some further correction or further grading, we can increase this, just so we've got a good view. Now, shadows. So you want to try and figure out what sort of look you're going for here. It's not worth just playing with these because you'll end up with something really random and hideous and you'll just completely ruin the look of the footage. So what's your intention here? Are you looking for that teal and orange? Are you looking for a sepia effect? Are you looking for a Midwestern kind of feel? If you've got a specific look and feel in mind, then you can do that here. So maybe shadows will push a little bit into the warmth. As you know, we'll pull that into the blues a little bit because we want to get some contrast. We'll push the midtones a little warmer and the highlights a little warmer as well. So this is before, this is after. So as you can see, we're just pushing the richness, that warmth through. You can really see it if you're up here. I think we might be pushing it too far though. So let's pull some of this back. There you go. This is before, this was after. We're definitely getting that yellow look. I think it maybe needs to be more orange than yellow though. So let's pull this over like this. And there we go. We've got this nice hue coming through, but I feel like there's maybe too many greens. So let's go back up to our curves. I think the greens are coming through too strong on the mid-tone. So let's pull this down a pinch. Yeah, it's subtle, but it made a small difference. Anyway, carrying on, we've got HSL secondary. HSL secondary is essentially going to pinpoint specific colors within the frame. So let's say we did want to highlight these greens. If we use the eyedropper tool to select the green, or alternatively, we can just start by selecting the color green. If we move this around, everything visible will be affected and everything gray will not be affected. So as you can see, we've got HSL here. Let's adjust that. We've got another color wheel here. So let's push these more towards the greens. As you can see, if we go blue, you can see what's happening here. But we want to be really subtle here. So let's just push this slightly more towards the greens. We'll increase the blur just to add some feathering in. We'll increase the saturation a pinch. And if we disable that, you can see what that's done. It's just added that richness back into the trees. That green is coming back through again now. And then, of course, the last step is the vignetting. So this is just adding that border in. I personally, I'm not a huge fan of vignettes, but if you wanted to, then you could play with this. It just brings everything into the center. But again, I'm personally not a huge fan of that. I would rather light accordingly rather than using a vignette. But anyway, just by using the Lumetri color effect in the effect controls panel, this is where we started. This is where we've ended up. It's done a lot. And this isn't the sharpest footage in the world, but already it looks 1,000 times better than it did before. It's really pulled the warmth out of the shot. So I would recommend going into Lumetri color, having a play with all of these different settings. Maybe go onto Google Images, go onto Pinterest, go onto whatever, find some films that you like the look of, get some screenshots from those films and see if you can match the two up together. It's a really fun exercise and definitely something that I would recommend you doing, because the better you can get at color grading, the more you're going to be able to elevate your films. Like I said, this is where we started. This doesn't look very professional at all. This doesn't look great, but when you add the right color correction to it, all of a sudden this shot looks a lot more expensive. So that is color grading inside of Adobe Premiere Pro using the built-in Lumetri color tab.